right, good evening and welcome back to your view with me on JJ Tabane. Coming to you live from Linden here in Johannesburg. Thank you, Carmen, for the news update. Of course, Panyaza Lesufi joining me in our Frank Talk tonight. Panyaza, welcome.
Thank you so much, JJ.
Good to see you. It's been a while.
Thank you so much. Thanks for the invite. Truly appreciate it.
No. It's a pleasure, and thank you for always being available to talk to us. You've been busy, your hands full, man, already, man. Let's start with this whole issue of the registration, or rather the intake, particularly of grade 1s and grade 8s, right? Just a quick update on how many spaces are still there, how many people have now been placed, and how many are not. So just a progress on that, because we had promised that by the end of the month, everyone would be sorted. The month has 2 days to go now, and we'd like to know that. Secondly, are there any lessons from that process? Because it seems like there was a communication stuff up, because parents pitched up on a Sunday in big panic after the department communicated with them on Saturday afternoon or Sunday morning, with an SMS to say, hey, you better make sure your kids are in. Just give us an update there.
Thanks for the opportunity, JJ. Information agenda that we're trying to advance to ensure that all our schools are open to all our parents. Previously, when you go to a certain school, you'll be told by security guard at the gate that the school is full. You have no recourse, there's no transparency, there's no accountability. Yeah. So we needed a system that does not have the human element, where people can just apply and they don't have to queue. Because with the problem with the quality of our schools is that you could only queue at one school. Because when you finish to other schools, and when you are told it's full, you will have no recourse to deal with it. But other people say, before you even get an application form, you need to pay something. So the poor were then excluded, and some schools were reserved.
Pay something, you mean, to the school?
To the school, before you can even be given forms. So the online registration, therefore, was assisting us to open up, treat every parent equally, be transparent, let there be accountability, and be in a position to account to each and every application that we've received. So we received 310,000 applications. Of the 310 applications, unfortunately, 27,000 of those parents didn't have necessary documents. When I say necessary documents, for example, if you are not a South African or a foreign citizen, you need some documents. So if you don't have that, will not be in a position to take you. Or if you are a South African, you don't have either a lease document or documents that prove that you stay,
the proof of
residence and other things. So then we placed everyone. We're left with 34,000 at the beginning of this this month. And indeed, as you said, we're testing a system to invite parents in community meetings. But unfortunately, that information, during the testing stages, it went all out and it created panic. We rectified it. We apologized to parents, and we still do. And as I'm speaking to you now, from the 34,000 parents that needed spaces in our school, we're left with 5,000. It's quite an uphill.
So the 5,000 are spaces, or is parents who have applied but they haven't been placed?
Learners that are unplaced, as I'm speaking to you now.
But is there space for that 5,000?
There is space. The problem with our education system is like an Irish coffee, it's black at the bottom, white on top, with sprinkles of chocolate. So everyone wants to move to the sprinkles of chocolate and the whiteness. And the blackness, no one wants to be there. So we have to convert.
So there are spaces, but
it's areas where
people don't want to go there.
Yes. That is why from next year, we are grading our schools like hotels, with a 5-star hotel, 4-star hotel. So in front of each and every name of a school, if you have a 5, this is an excellent school. If you have a 4, it's a good school.
But based on what? On facilities?
Only 11
pass
points.
Rate?
On 11 points is facilities, yes, it's pass rate, qualification of teachers, and all the investment that the school has and the capacity to do those things. So where we are, I said to parents, indeed, we'll try to place all our children by the 30th. We're working very, very hard. As I said, we're left with 5,000. We are starting the process of negotiating with those parents because, as I said, we've got classrooms, but they're not where parents want to take their children.
You have had a big debate with school governing bodies, particularly about the geography. I don't remember what you term it, but the issue of expanding the geographical area around which students or other pupils can be placed. Right? Where is that debate? Because part of it, there were threats of court action around it in particular, and you've been arguing that this is the right thing to do because it has to do with transformation, integration,
Indeed.
and all of those
Indeed.
good things.
We won that debate. We won that debate. We passed the law, and we implemented that law for the first time. I think we are the only province that have that law. Previously, our feeder zone was that you must stay within a 5-kilometer radius.
Yeah.
Which simply means if you are in Soweto and you can afford to take your child in Sandton, you'll be excluded because we were born in the wrong area. That only people that are in Sandton must only apply for schools in Sandton, and those that are. So we then increased it to the 30-kilometer radius so that it allows parents to choose where they want to. And that's where, unfortunately, parents felt that there's an opportunity to choose certain schools and to stick to those certain schools.
Yeah.
Even though we gave them an option of applying for 5 schools, someone will apply for 1 school only, and it creates a problem if that school is full. But we are quite excited. The transformation agenda. You know, we've got we had what we called Group Areas Act in our country. So certain race were staying in a certain area. Now the demographics have changed, and therefore we need to open up so that everyone can be part of our education system.
The AfriForum case, can you just educate me a little bit about what icked them now?
Well, there's no case. The case is that those people that are queuing, waiting for spaces, is no longer one race. It's everyone.
Yeah.
And the reality is that as well,
in the past,
they enjoyed that privilege.
Who never needed to queue.
Yes. So they feel that I'm taking them. Also, we've opened all schools now. There's no school that is outside the online registration. Every school is subjected to online registration, and people were using their privileges to be placed. But also is an agenda to say, if we can't stop this man, a truly non-racial education system will rise. And it's not in their interest to have a truly
in the placing, just right there now, in the placing. So let's say someone lives in Sandton, right?
Yeah.
Would I be able to see that if your system is truly successful, that person could be placed in a school in Soweto?
If he means yes, if he means the language, but remember, it's choice and it's voluntarily. We don't force you.
You are just given an opportunity.
You are just given an opportunity.
But you can say no.
You can say no, yes. You can say no, which is something that was not there. Previously, I say go there or else you leave it. But with the process that we've introduced, indeed, and we have to. We
don't at the moment, there isn't that situation. There are no white kids studying in Soweto who live in Glen Vista. Sorry, who live in Athol or Mondio.
Not necessarily, but I think we're almost there. Yeah, at the moment, but they're almost there. The environment is.
So is that not the outcry?
Well, they can see that in not distant future, it's a likelihood that will happen. So therefore, you have to stop it now, or else you'll find Kobus van der Merwe having to catch a taxi at Noord to go to Zolamde, you know. So yeah. But when we believe in racialism, you must not cherry pick. You must not cherry pick what suits you and leave out what doesn't suit you. When we say we must share everything, it literally means we must share everything. So you can't say, I cherry pick my pogo only is non-racialism. But when it comes to your child sharing a desk with another child, say, no. It's not the non-racialism that I prefer. I only want the mapogo one. And that's where we have a problem.
But this is actually interesting because it's 25 years down the line. Should we be talking about this now? I mean, does it mean that our education system, even after that, and I know it took a lot of time to transform it, to make sure that it's one education system, it's not the homelands and what, right? So I can grant that for the first 5 years. But the remaining 20, how come you are the only province that has passed a resolution that says if you live in Sandton, you should be able to be allocated a school in Orange Farm if that's the nearest or if that's the most convenient.
I'm glad to have raised that part, JJ, which is something fellow South Africans don't understand, that we took a serious sacrifice for this country to prosper. After 1994, were 2 options. To say, you oppressed us, you denied us quality education, you took all resources to your own children, you had the best teachers, come to the township, we will go where we are so that we can square it.
Yeah.
But we didn't take that option. And there was nothing stopping us to take that option. But we said, in the interest of building a truly non-racial South Africa, let's persuade each other and do this thing in phases. And that is why we passed laws to allow other children that come from the township to go there and teach us that we have. But those that we have made a sacrifice for them to prosper don't see that benefit. They take our posture of reconciliation, they take our posture of working together, they take our posture to build a social cohesion, and they equate it to stupidity. That you were stupid. You should have taken over. You should have taken all the teachers in white school, plant them in townships. You should have taken all the money that were there and put it in the township. But we said we might have pit toilets, we might have falling buildings, we might have schools that are built by mud. We are going to slowly but surely integrate that process so that we have one system. And we've done that. Remember, we also took a very important option to say, even though the curriculum was an apartheid curriculum, we will change the engine of the aeroplane when the aeroplane is flying, which simply means you retrain educators, you change the curriculum, and you do all these things. And people were accusing us to say, but we are changing the curriculum every year. What's wrong with you? But the reality is, if we said to JJ and South Africans, keep your children at home for the next 4 years,
while we
are changing the curriculum, while we are training teachers, while we are building new schools,
it will be a disaster.
It will be a disaster. So the option that we have taken remains the best option. And we must thank leaders that led us into this particular process. But the reality is, those that we have sacrificed all these things for them, they don't see those sacrifices. Or they equate those sacrifices to stupidity.
Have you received papers from AfriForum?
Not yet.
It's still at the threat level at the moment.
I mean, JJ, I've gone through pain with this organization, so whatever comes, let it come. I honestly gone through pain. And that's a price you need to pay for non-racialism. I mean, the irony is that I'm accused by this organization being racist, but who has gone to the courts to defend an apartheid flag? It's not me. I'm accused by this organization to be racist, but who has paid a bail for people who are farmers that killed a child in Northwest Kulini and paid a bail for the people that are accused of murder? Who's glorifying a singer called Hofmeyr? Who's glorifying Hendrik Verwoerd? You go to their website, they are justifying the decisions that were taken by Hendrik Verwoerd, and they're trying to say Hendrik Verwoerd was the best intellectual that this country has ever produced. So
terrible.
It's just unfortunate, but we must not get tired to build a truly non-racial South Africa.
I'm going to talk after the break about the quality of education. You know, our previous conversations, you've always made me understand some of the things that we see on the surface. So I want you to tell me about the Standard 9 exit. I'm sure I'll leave here more educated. Panyaza Lesufi, MEC of Education in Gauteng. Let's take a break.